What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Resilient Reboot Productions Daily Show. I am your host, John Katsavos, and I hope you all had an amazing weekend. We've had a very productive and very eye-opening weekend. You're going to be seeing a lot of stuff coming out from us in the next couple of days, and I hope you guys can really enjoy everything that's going on. You might have noticed a little bit of a rebranding kind of stuff going on with what we are calling now the Power Tribe. That is where this is being streamed live and on our YouTube page. So there's more to come, and it's going to make the experience at Resilient Reboot Productions even more intriguing, more integrated, more interactive, and just a better experience for everybody, especially you, our valued fans, our valued customers, our valued everybody. So today we are talking about the myths and misconceptions. It's Myths and M&M Mondays, and we're talking about the myths and misconceptions surrounding the importance of rest and recovery for getting results in the gym. Today we're going to talk about a little bit more in depth with, a day-night change that we just experienced, the falsehood of the 8-hour sleep, and the statement, I don't need supplements. So let's kick it off. The day-night change. Spring has sprung. The time has gone. We have sprung forward 1 hour a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago. And I heard rumors, and I'm sure some of you have heard the same rumor, that they're going to get rid of this hour back, fall back, spring forward thing. I don't know. But this does have a very impactful way on our health, especially when it comes to sleep, and we'll get into sleep a little bit later on in the show. But it also has an effect on us psychologically and how we eat and what happens to our bodies. Our bodies went into a transition. This hour change, this hour forward, bodies do go into some form of transition. Now, keep in mind, there is a lot of psychological and physiological factors that go with changing the times that you sleep and changing the times that you wake up. Huge factors. You do get accustomed to it. The body doesn't get accustomed. Very simple. Takes I'd say anywhere between 3 and 5 days, maybe 7. Depends on the person, depends on the age, depends on dietary factors, depends on a lot of stuff. Sleep is a huge factor when it comes to it, and this is why when it comes to R&R, sleep is so important. We need it. We need set times so that we can go to bed at the right time. Our bodies can go through their circadian cycle properly, because there's very important factors that happen in the circadian rhythm between specific hours. And when we adjust the times by 1 hour, never mind 8 hours, 9 hours, when we change locations in a country or change continents, that has a huge psychological and physiological factor as well. But for what we're talking about right now, 1 hour will be probably in a couple of days. We feel sluggish, and that's because we're losing an hour's sleep. And I'll explain why. Our bodies have been accustomed to to start producing cortisol at a specific time. Okay, so when we bump it back 1 hour, or when we bump it forward 1 hour, so we're producing cortisol at different times. This again plays a big factor in how we feel for that day. The longer days also plays a very uh, big, I'm going to use factor again. It's a huge factor when it comes to um, the chemical release, because I'll explain why in just a second. It's basically the sun will dictate the pineal gland in our brains when to release specific chemicals into our bodies, preparing it for recovery or breakdown or work. Breakdown, work. That has to happen at a specific time. And we don't have control over when the sun goes down. We don't. Our bodies will adjust accordingly. And it's only, that's why in August we call them the dog days of summer, because we're kind of in that transition. It's like uh, these days are, it's getting exhausting now, and the days are long and it's getting exhausting. It's because our bodies don't have the proper time to do that switch from work to rest. Usually it's in the range of anywhere between 2 and 3 hours. But when the sun's starting to go down at 8 o'clock at night, and our body should be already starting to level off with cortisol levels, and we're still producing cortisol levels and it's just crashing, guess what happens? We get tired quicker. We get lazier. We get, I don't feel like doing this. I don't feel like doing that. Which translates into less sleep. Less sleep, less time the body has time to recover. And this is also on the flip side. Okay, this is not just when the sun goes down. It's also when the sun comes up. Because when the sun comes up, the sun right now is coming up at about 7 a.m. But towards July, it'll start coming up at 5 a.m. At 5 a.m., we're going through a psychological repair, because all the melatonin is up in our brains, fixing our emotions, fixing our brains, fixing everything in the brain. So we're losing 2 hours of pardon me, one hour of proper repair. We're losing it. Why? Because the sun is up and the sun is triggering the pineal gland. You need to be off because we need to start working. Now, there are tricks. I don't like using melatonin. I don't like using it. There are other things that you can use that are natural, that will still maintain the balance of you waking up at a proper time, such as blackout blinds, tinted windows, the eye covers. That kind of stuff will help. Eye covers not so much, but the blacked out blinds works like a charm. It really does, and it's really, 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 really effective. And that you can maintain the proper amount of sleep, which gets us to the 8-hour myth. Now, I get this from a lot of my clients. John, I heard that we have to get 8 hours sleep. Yeah. It's more like 8 hours rest. Sleep is different because it varies from time of year. In the wintertime, in the winter months in the Northern Hemisphere, or even in the Southern Hemisphere, I know you guys down in Australia and South Africa watching me, you guys have winter in July. It's a little, for me, it doesn't make sense, but for you guys, it does. But whatever the case may be, you need a little bit more rest. I said rest, not sleep. Sleep should be roughly anywhere between 8 to 6 hours. Some people need a little bit. Some people need a little bit less. Some people need a little bit more. Rest itself should vary from time of year. So if you're in the summer months, you need less rest, hence the 6 hours. You probably need still 6 hours of sleep, but you need less rest because the sun is up a lot longer and you got cortisol running through your body. The melatonin levels haven't kicked in yet, and when the melatonin levels do kick in, you're already sleeping, which is great, which is what we want. And you have that 6 to 8 hour period of proper sleep. In the winter months, we need a little bit more. We need about 9 hours rest, 9 to 10 hours rest. I'm giving you guys a very broad time frame because everybody's different. Some people need more rest, some people need less rest. I have a tendency of needing less rest, but it also depends on the time of year. In the wintertime, I like a little bit more rest. My sleep is still 6 hours, 5-6 hours. But my rest periods, the time I stop working here varies from during the time of year. The problem that I have with people over resting is that you have a tendency of becoming complacent. Stuff like procrastination will kick in. You'll stop doing stuff. You'll stop being active. And you know what? It's not healthy. It's not healthy. It's not healthy to go full blast till like 2 o'clock in the morning and then sleeping for an hour and then waking up at 3 and just full blast till 2 in the morning again. That's not healthy. It's also not healthy to be sleeping for 12 hours and waking up even more tired than you were when you went to bed, and then you write off the entire day. I'm not saying that writing off an entire day is a bad thing, but if you have to earn it, and I learned that through Grant Cardone, through one of his videos, it's if you're taking one day's rest, you had better be working your butt off 6 days out of that 7-day week. Then you can earn that 1 day rest. Make sure all those boxes are ticked and say, you know what, I'm not doing anything today. I'm going to go meet up with some friends, shoot the S, hang out with some family, shoot the S, have a couple drinks, maybe some barbecue if it's summertime where you're living at, and just enjoy myself. I'm just going to enjoy my Sunday the best way I can. When you sleep till 12 hours, that's a bad thing. And we don't want that. You don't want that in your life because it drains you at one point. Now, there are certain things, like if you had a little bit too much to drink the night before, you might need the extra rest. There's factors in everything. But assuming that, you're consuming alcohol at a rational level where you're not going to get too bad, then I've been there before. So I'm not going to be judgmental if you do. I've been there in my past many, 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 many times. Then okay, you're going to need the extra rest. 12 hours sleep will help you get over that hangover that comes with it. And sometimes the older you get, the more painful it becomes and the less attractive, getting to that state is. So the 8-hour rule is more of a guideline. That's the way I explain it to my clients. Think of it like a guideline. You need literally 6 hours. That's all you need. From 7 hours. From 11 to 6 a.m. That's when you need to sleep. Because that is when you have the melatonin in your system repairing stuff. That's when you need to be asleep, between 11 and 7. The rest part, and there's a proper way to do rest, which we didn't get into. I'll briefly sum it up. And it's not watching anything on here, anything on your TV, anything watching on your tablet, cell phone, computer, none of that. It is grabbing one of these, opening it up, and reading the words inside of it. That's the proper way to rest. And if you're not doing that, grab a book. It's not hard to grab a book, open it up, and start reading it. My suggestion, find some genre that you enjoy and say, you know what, for the next hour, I'm just going to read as much as I can. Who cares how much we read? Who cares if it's 1 page? Who cares if it's 20 pages? Who cares? Just read. Me personally, I like self-help and business stuff. So I grab self-help and business stuff and I just read. That's what interests me. Whatever interests you. Actually, you know what? Whatever interests you, I'd like to know. Curious. Just put in the comments below what movies do you like? What type of movies? Is it sci-fi? Is it action? Is it inspirational? Is it documentaries? Is it romance? Is whatever it is, just put it in the comments below. I'm curious to know, really curious to know. So if you are watching this and you've made it to 17 minutes and 25 seconds, put in the comments below what genre of movies you like. Because it's quite interesting what will pop up. Next, we're going to move into another big misconception. I can't speak properly today. Misconception, which is I don't need to supplement. I'm okay, and I'm okay with my natural gains. The problem with natural gains, and I'm not saying that it's how can I put this properly? The problem with natural gains is that it's not natural. You might be thinking, what the hell are you talking about, John? What are you talking about? Natural gains are not natural. If you think that the food that you are consuming is a natural source of food, if you bought it at the supermarket, at like a Publix or a Sobeys or a Walgreens or a Walmart or wherever, you are sorely mistaken. You are very sorely mistaken if you think that that food is natural. It is not natural. At some point in that animal's life, there has been some form of chemical being introduced to that being, and you are consuming that. So if you think that you're going to be consuming, you're going to go do your workouts and your changes naturally, you are sorely, sorely, sorely mistaken. I don't care what point. I don't care if it's a fruit, vegetable, or animal. At some point in time in that life cycle, it has been manipulated by some form of chemical. From birth to death to consumption. Which leads to what? Lack of nutrients in the food. Now we're talking. So now I hope you can see why a supplement such as Isogenics company, which I'm a huge proponent of and I use in my workout programs because their products are beyond amazing. Their complete essentials is like loaded with tons of nutrients in there that are missing from food. And if you want like quick access to the Isogenics products, I will put a link below to my stuff, and you guys, I'm more than happy to share that stuff with you guys. I mean, it's in, like I said, it's in all my workout programs as supplementations because it's just so potent, so amazing with just everything. Like if you want to see results, you get them quick. Last week I did, last Sunday, not the Sunday that passed, the Sunday before, not yesterday, the week before, I had a heavy calf workout, and I haven't done calves in 2 weeks. But I couldn't walk until Wednesday. Wednesday was the first day that I could actually start walking properly. Before, it was like stiff-legged and it looked like I had pooed myself. I'm not kidding. My parents, my sister, my nephews. My nephew, there's a funny thing where my youngest nephew actually was pushing me from behind to move forward, to move quicker. And he was laughing while doing it. And everybody was laughing at me. I was laughing at it. I thought it was the funniest thing in the world. But with the supplements that I was taking with Isogenics, because it's so packed with nutrient-rich nutrients, I actually sped up my recovery. I should have been starting to walk yesterday. That was 1 week. On 1 week, I was done. I started walking on the Wednesday. So you see how important the nutrients are to recovery. And also, not just that, but also the quality of the supplement is also critical. This is why I've probably tried every single supplement company in the world over the past 20 years. And nothing can compare. Be honest with you guys. I'm honest. I wouldn't be promoting it this much if I didn't believe in it this much. Honestly, I've tried everything that you can think of. Nothing comes close to this brand. It's just next level recovery. And that's what's important with supplementation. It's the recovery process. They have other stuff too, which is really great, like their collagen and they have a hair growth thing that's one of my friends is seeing some great results with. But what we're talking about right here is the actual rest and recovery with supplementation. And I'll be honest with you, next level. I will put in a link in the description below. Actually, I'll put in a link with the comments in the comments below. So that's it for today. Tomorrow we are going to be talking about tomorrow's an interesting day. Where are we? Tomorrow we're going to be doing a how to rest and recover. And I'm going to show you guys live exactly the stuff that you guys need to do and why you need to do it in the set period of time. Timing is critical, and we'll go over that tomorrow. I'll teach you guys my tips and my tricks and how I go about supplementing and timing out everything when it comes to post-workout, during the workout, and pre-workout and rest days, because it's critical that you guys get that right. If you guys can get that right, if you guys can get how do I supplement properly, the results will come quicker. Your recovery time will come down even quicker, and you guys won't have a care in the world. So stay tuned for tomorrow. I'll do what I can to get on board on time at 9 a.m. streaming service has a tendency of taking a little bit of time. It's time to get everything pushed at the proper time. So as usual, please don't forget to subscribe. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to be notified when we come up with a new live or episode or for the Fitness Oracle or video for VO Fitness. And if you know if you know one person that this can help with, please share it with them, as this is a community of sharing. So, and same thing on Facebook. If you like, give me a thumbs up. Please leave a comment below. Please, as I said before, please put in a comment in whether you're watching this on YouTube or on Facebook. Just comment below on the genre of movies that you enjoy watching. I'm really curious to find out. And again, share it with someone. Share this video with someone that you know that it could have some form of value for them. Before I let you guys go, I do want to ask you, if you yourself are suffering or feeling alone, or you're not sure where to turn to for help. If you're a guy, we have a community called Band of Brothers, and it's a community of men that have been there and done that, where most of them are still going through the same thing, whatever it is in their life. These weekly calls, which are on Wednesdays at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that's New York, Toronto, Miami time. These weekly calls makes finding a community easy for struggling, overweight young men that have lost their place in this world, so they can find an easy and cheap solution to get out of the depression without the use of drugs, with using some simple life hacks that we have developed over the past decades through trial and error. All you have to do is say, yes, I'm ready for easy answers to start feeling better about myself right now. And let's hop on a call, just you and me, and let's see how we can help you. I'll post a link for the one-on-one call with me as well in the comments below. So please take advantage of it. I'll see you guys tomorrow with How To Tuesdays right here on the